You could see all these tractors and trucks and everything coming in to town.
But, I just thought of something here. When Dad was still pulling, going to the state fair in our younger days, he had a grain truck. And you'd load that tractor in the grain truck. Probably back then it would have been the Montgomery Wards or an early modified. But we would go to the state fair. We slept in the back of the grain truck. We didn't have a hotel room. And all the pullers and the kids and families would be in a circle out there, and we just had the best time. But laying in the back of that grain truck was quite an experience, trying to sleep at a tractor pull. Inevitably, somebody would go out and start a tractor just to wake everybody up, modified to boot.
Right.
So, those things have changed so much. But back as a kid, that's a pretty good memory.
So that would have been what era?
That would have been, I would have still been probably the late 60s.
Okay. And when that grain truck, you probably didn't have a canvas over the top. You were sleeping under the stars. If it rained,
I think they did have a canvas at night, but
okay.
They did have a tractor roll out of the back of a grain truck one time. They were all traveling.
One of your dad's friends, or
one of Dad's friends?
Okay.
Yeah, and it was pretty interesting. I think it was, I believe it was Dick Stewart. He had a Montgomery Wards, and they were in transit to a pull. And they must not have chained it down quite right. Well, as he was shifting the truck at a stop sign to take off, Gail Neffenegger was behind him, and he said, that tractor's moving. And the next thing they know, every time he shifted, it was getting closer and closer to the back of the truck. It jumped out of the back, off onto the highway, in the ditch, and it never broke anything.
Oh my goodness.
They loaded it back up and continued to their pull. But as a kid, I still remember talking about, Gail said, I just about drove my truck up against the back of yours so that at least the front wheels could sit on the hood of my truck. But it was kind of silly. But yeah. I remember their hauling method at that time was pretty, what I would call, pretty simple.